Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, proud family and friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. Welcome to this evening's celebration. Tonight marks the close of one chapter and the beginning of another. Graduation is a milestone that invites both celebration and reflection. While we gather to honor achievements, grades earned, goals met, games won, and challenges overcome, we also pause to acknowledge something even more meaningful: the people and the moments that help get you here. This evening, I'd like to focus on the quiet power of presence, on what it means to show up day after day, and how through steady commitment, each of you has begun writing the first chapters of a story that only you can tell. Before we send you off into the next chapter, let's take a moment to thank those who helped you hold the pen. Let's begin with our Board of Education. Your leadership often happens behind the scenes, but the impact is felt in every classroom. The decisions you make, budgeting for programs, approving initiatives, and staffing, are the framework on which this educational experience is built. Thank you for your service and your commitment. To our teachers and school staff, teachers, please rise. Give them a hand, please. You are the heartbeat of this district. You have done far more than teach equations, grammar, and historical events. You've believed in our students when they doubted themselves. You've stayed after school to tutor, to listen, or to simply be there. You've celebrated their wins and helped them through their lowest moments. You were a constant presence, encouraging, challenging, and uplifting. This class stands taller because of the countless times you showed up, not just to deliver content, but to build confidence, character, and compassion. You gave your students more than knowledge. You gave them the belief that they mattered. That's a gift that they will carry forever. To our parents, guardians, and caregivers, you've been there from the very beginning. You've cheered them from the bleachers, waited in the car line, sat through competitions and concerts. You've dried tears over tough days and helped your children keep going when they wanted to give up. You helped raise not just students, but people of resilience and heart. Your love has been the quiet engine behind every achievement celebrated tonight. In a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, you provided stability, support, and unconditional belief. Thank you for showing up over and over again, even when it was hard. To our veterans and active service members, your example teaches us all about dedication, discipline, and the meaning of sacrifice. You have served our nation with courage, and many of you continue to serve your families, your communities, and our schools in powerful ways. You remind us that showing up sometimes comes at a cost, and yet you continue to do it with grace and without hesitation. Your service is a living lesson for these graduates, teaching them the importance of duty, responsibility, and of courage to stand up for something bigger than themselves. We thank you deeply for your example and for your sacrifice. Now, class of 2025, it's your turn. It might surprise you to hear that one of the most powerful things you've done over the past 13 years isn't found in an award or a test score. It's that you showed up. Through uncertainty, through changes, through victories and heartbreak, you kept showing up. You walked into classrooms unsure of answers but willing to try. You practiced on fields after tough losses. You stood on stages, took exams, faced pressure, and still returned the next day. You showed up for one another with a joke, a text, a ride, or just your presence. This may seem small. It is not. In fact, it's one of the most important habits you can carry forward. Showing up, especially when it's uncomfortable, when it's inconvenient, and when it's uncertain. It's a quiet kind of courage. It's what turns potential into progress. It's what builds trust, strengthens teams, and changes lives. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more present people. People who show up for their work, not just when they're inspired, but when they're tired. People who show up for their families, even in the middle of a personal struggle. People who show up for their communities, for what's right, and for those who can't speak for themselves. In a time when it's easy to hide behind screens or wait for the perfect moment, be the one who steps forward. Because presence creates connection, and connection is what drives real change. And now, you are the author of what's next. Graduation is not the end of your story. It's the end of the first volume. Ahead of you are blank pages. Some of those pages will be filled with joy, new cities, new friendships, unexpected successes. Others may be harder to write, chapters of failure, change, or challenge. But here's what I hope you remember. You hold the pen. The story of your life doesn't have to follow someone else's script. You don't have to peak in high school. You don't have to have it all figured out. What matters most is that you keep writing with honesty, with courage, and with heart. The world needs your voice. It needs your story. So class of 2025, show up when it's hard. Show up for the people who need you. Show up when no one is watching. Show up for your dreams. And when you're unsure of what comes next, just keep writing. You've already proven that you know how to persevere. You've navigated deadlines, disappointments, uncertainty, and change. You've faced pressure and loss and still found ways to rise, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with quiet determination. You've adapted to new changes, learned to pivot when plans don't go your way, and found strength you didn't always know that you had. In the process, you've not only grown academically, you've grown in resilience, empathy, and grit. You've supported one another, lifted each other up, and led in ways both big and small. Not just surviving high school, that's building character for life. So as you step into the world that will ask even more of you, remember what you've already accomplished. Write boldly, edit with grace, dream without apology, and above all, never stop showing up. Congratulations, class of 2025. You've made us incredibly proud, not just because of what you've achieved, but because of who you've become along the way. You've demonstrated heart, resilience, creativity, and leadership. You've shown us what it means to grow, to persevere, and to lift others as you rise. As you step forward into the world, whether it's college, the workforce, the military, or a path still unfolding, we believe in you. We believe in your ability to face challenges with courage, to lead with kindness, and to leave your mark, not just in what you accomplish, but how you live. Your story is just beginning, and we cannot wait to see the chapters that you will write, the lives you touch, and the legacy you will leave behind. And always, always remember, once a Mike, always a Mike. Good luck, and God bless. The national anthem will be performed by our senior high marching band. Graduates, family members, and guests, please rise. And gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to welcome our commencement speaker this evening, who happens to look a lot like my former right fielder. Pete Putilla is the son of Joe and Patricia Putilla of Carmichaels. He was born in Uniontown Hospital, and he's the youngest of four brothers, Joe, Derek, and twin Michael. Growing up in Carmichaels, Pete was a member of St. U Roman Catholic Church and attended Carmichaels Elementary and junior-senior high school. He played baseball, basketball, football, golf, and was a member of Boy Scout Troop 1262. He attended West Virginia University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Sports Management, graduating summa cum laude. During his time at WVU, he worked as a student manager for the WVU baseball team and as a sports marketing intern for the WVU athletic department. In his senior year, Pete took a baseball operations internship with the Houston Astros and later was hired full-time before graduating. In over 12 years with the Astros, he held various roles, including baseball operations assistant, baseball operations coordinator, assistant director of minor league operations, director of player development, and finally assistant general manager, where he oversaw the amateur and international scouting, player development, and sports medicine and performance departments with his time there, culminating in a World Series championship. In October 2022, he was hired as the general manager for the San Francisco Giants, where he remained for 2 years overseeing all aspects of baseball operations. After a leadership change in San Francisco, he moved on to a role with the Atlanta Braves as assistant general manager. International scouting, where he oversees all international amateur player acquisition. He now resides in Marietta, Georgia, with his wife Amethyst, Hart, and German short-haired pointer Donut. Some fun facts about Pete. Pete, I'm sorry your dad got to me first. Pete was voted class clown by his peers. It's also Pete's birthday. Happy birthday, Pete. Pete takes pride in his Western Pennsylvania roots and considers himself lucky to have had so many role models to look up to in his family and his community. Finally, he wants to take the special opportunity to give his parents a welcome and thanks for all their love and hard work and dedication and sacrifice in helping to make him the person he is today. Mr. and Mrs. Putella, would you please stand? From the personal archives of Coach Bates, Pete is the James Brown of Major League Baseball. He is the hardest working man in professional baseball at any level. He's achieved more than most based on his hard work, dedication, tireless efforts, and knowledge of the game of baseball and its business. And two things that I've noticed about Pete is his humility and his passion. The things that I remember most of Pete calling me and saying, "Coach, you'll never believe it, I just got off 6 hours of videotape with Biggio and Bagwell from the Houston organization." And he wasn't worried about rubbing elbows with the most famous people in baseball. He was worried about getting better and what he was learning and what he was doing. And that's a tribute to Pete. And the other thing that I will always admire most about Pete, I watched him sit at a baseball reunion a few years back, and I think it was Louis May he was talking to. And he talked for several minutes, and someone came over to me and said, who's the kid who knows all the baseball? I said, that's the general manager of the Houston Astros, assistant general manager at the time. And they said, no, the kid's smiling, the kid that seems to know all the baseball. And he never told anybody who he was. And that is a true testament to the kind of humility and the kind of a man we have speaking tonight. So without further ado, welcome, Pete.
Going to try to not cry during my speech, but maybe a little trouble beforehand. Good evening to the 2025 graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Before I get started, I just want to thank my mom and dad and wife, all of your support. Wouldn't be standing here today without you. So I'd also like to thank the school board and Superintendent Fred Moorcraft for the invitation to speak tonight. And to my old baseball coach, Dave Bates, for the warm welcome. He was my English literature teacher, so if the speech isn't any good, I blame him. Just kidding. And I'd be remiss not to mention the great run that our baseball and softball teams had to the WPIL finals. Congratulations on all your success, and good luck in states. And also, I heard that Mr. Willis's Envirothon team finished second in state, so congratulations there as well. Congratulations to all of you tonight. Your hard work and dedication has paid off. You should be very proud and carry these moments and this accomplishment with you on to your next endeavors. This is a significant day for you, not only for what you have accomplished, but for what comes next. Along the way, each of you has had someone behind you, always there for you, to give you rides, to help you through a lesson, to bring your trumpet to school if you left it at home, or to just keep you on the straight and narrow. So students, please stand up and just take a minute to give your families, friends, faculty a round of applause for all of the support that they've given you. A few years ago, a headline in the Houston Chronicle newspaper website read, "Giants general manager Pete Patella collects World Series ring earned with Astros." Those are words that I would not have believed you if you told me 15 years ago when I sat right where you're sitting tonight. I was a solid student, good but not great. I had a lot of energy, maybe a little bit too much energy at times, as Mr. Menhart could attest. Always goofing off and having a good time. After running the shot chart and carrying water for the basketball team for a few years, I decided I wasn't going to play anymore, and my teammates were all disappointed. They said, who's going to tell all the good jokes on the bus? I played some junior high football, golf, and of course baseball, and I was a very proud member of the band. A round of applause for the band tonight. If there was a senior superlative for most likely to speak at commencement, it probably wasn't me. But fast forward 17 years after graduation, I got a message from Mr. Moorcraft about speaking at commencement. If there is one thing that I want you to go home tonight with, it is that graduating high school provides you with a fresh start to your next chapter, and that you yourself control. Nobody else does. You will all be put back on the same starting line. While you should cherish your memories and be proud of what you have accomplished during your time here, you should also be excited that moving forward, you will get to redefine who you want to be. Because as you leave high school, you are defined less and less by whether you fit into the high school system. For example, based on how you look, what you wear, and whether your interests fit in with the crowd. Rather, you are defined by the choices that you make, the people that you surround yourself with, the skills that you have, and how you decide to treat those around you. Your story is not defined by high school. You are just now about to put pen to paper. I remember my parents helping me move into my dorm at WVU, and when they drove away, having this feeling sweep over me that what I did next was completely up to me. It was exciting, but also a little daunting, because early in your life, you're guided around from place to place. And so when you get to school or whatever your next endeavor is, it's going to hit you. You're going to be on your own. You're going to be making your own decisions. And for me, my parents drove away, and I looked to the right over to the fraternity house row, and I saw a kid on the second floor filling up a beer funnel and a kid down on the lawn getting ready to drink it. And I looked to my left at the dorms and thought, well, I better go to my dorms and get prepared for the week. And, it's kind of a funny story, but that and so many other things will be a crossroads for you in terms of the decisions that you decide to make. It's not to say that you won't have a good time in this next chapter. In fact, you'll probably have the best time of your life, but there should always be a balance and an acknowledgement of the consequences of your decisions. I also have more practical thoughts to share, but I want to start with something that has always inspired me. And this is remembering those who came before me. President John Adams had a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, about how he and his generation first had to study war and politics so that the next generation would be afforded the opportunity to study things like mathematics, agriculture, and architecture, so that the next generation would be afforded the opportunity to study things like painting, poetry, and music. Each generation able to spread their wings a bit more. It takes just a short drive around Carmichaels to see all of the military banners that show the young faces of those who fought for our country. And drive just outside of town, and you'll see the farms run by the likes of John Pavarnik. He used to throw us candy from his farm tractor while he plowed the field at near our grandparents' house while we were playing in the backyard. He lost an arm during the Battle of Saipan in World War II, came back, ran a farm for the rest of his life with one arm. Think about that. Next time you feel like you're not up to the task. And of course, drive a little further out, and you'll come across the coal mine shafts, where men and women toiled and still do to this day, 700 feet underground. My priest growing up, Father Nazimak, was once asked at a celebration for his 50th anniversary, "Why'd you decide to become a priest?" He said, "Well, my dad told me you can either become a priest or a coal miner, and you don't look like a very good coal miner." And I still keep a picture of my grandfathers on my desk to this day in their military uniforms when they're 18 years old, just to remind myself of them, of course, but also the sacrifices they made and the fact that they didn't get to choose their path, out of high school. And so, while these are somber moments, somber examples, they're necessary to fully appreciate the opportunities that we have in front of us and those who helped set it all up. On a positive note, the same way that you should think about those who helped create opportunities for you, you should be excited about the numerous examples of people who have graduated from this high school and taken advantage, pursuing their own unique paths. I am here partly because what I do is in the mainstream, but we have people who have entered the trades, the military, business, medical field, engineering, technology, computer sciences, and even more. We even have our own Top Gun pilot, Stu Gizmo Whipke, and fellow fighter pilot Chris Teen Wolf Paulhemus. Class of 2007 and class of 2006. Maybe one of you will have a cool call sign like that one day. It always struck me that I know 3 classmates who went on to become pilots. I have to imagine they were inspired by seeing Mr. Paulhemus fly his biplane around town. And Mr. Paulhemus himself was inspired to fly from his godfather, who was a World War II B-17 pilot. And that has always made me think that if some point we could open our students' eyes to all of the opportunities that are out there, we could help them spread their wings and fly, rather than just knowing what is right here in front of them. And now, to be honest, with the internet, the ability to connect with anyone, anywhere, that opportunity is in front of you right now, so please take advantage of it. And now on to the more practical advice. Parents, brothers, sisters, families, friends, believe in these students and support them. They're not going to be able to take risks if they don't know someone is down below, ready to catch them. Every step of the way, my parents and family were there to support and believe in me, and that meant everything. As I moved down to Houston, all my belongings packed in the car, there was never, that fear, what if this doesn't work? I was always looking forward, and that's a testament to the support that I had. Students, I always remember having talks in high school about saying no to drugs and the dangers of drunk driving, but I always thought, well, nobody's ever offered me anything. It never really hit home. But then when you go out into the world, there'll be people and situations that will tempt you. Some of the dangers of drugs are obvious, but alcohol has been painted in our society as being completely innocent. Obviously, there's a time and a place when you're of age to have a drink, but I've seen many lives and careers ruined because of the influence of alcohol. If you can avoid the pitfalls of drugs and alcohol, you will set yourself up for a brighter future. Another point I want to make is that each and every one of you will hit a rough patch. You'll have stress, you'll fail at times, you'll lose someone that you love. The most important thing to remember is that all of us, including myself, have gone through difficult times when things weren't going our way and seemed hopeless. During these times, just remind yourself that you're not alone and there are people who love you who will be there if you call. And don't just leave your well-being to chance. Eat well, get exercise, doing something that you love, and get your 8 hours. And you'll be amazed at how much you can bounce back from long hard days. And finally, when it comes to carving out your path from here on, one of the most important things I can tell you from a practical perspective is to seek out mentors and ask a lot of questions, and then ask more questions. Talk to those who are already working in the field of interest, or those who are studying what you want to study but have not yet graduated. As a freshman at WVU, I joined the Sport Management Club and made friends, mentors, and connections to people in the industry and almost everyone else in that group was a senior at the time, just realizing that they had to start figuring things out. So get started early. At one point, when I worked for the Houston Astros, we traded for Justin Verlander, and I led a meeting with him to introduce all of the tools and technology that we had at hand. We thought it would be a brief 10-minute meeting, but 45 minutes later, he decided to use the information we had to make changes to how he pitched, and he had a career resurgence. And the next year in spring training, we were testing a new piece of technology, and Verlander turned around and asked me, "How'd my fastball look?" I thought to myself, I don't know, you're Justin Verlander, you tell me. But I was equipped to share useful information because I spent time engaged with my coworkers, learning everything that I could. While WVU introduced me to various topics and helped me meet people in the industry, I was not yet ready to contribute to running operations for a Major League Baseball club. Each career is different. Some of you will learn the hard skills that you need right away and be able to jump right in. But I had to learn from those around me at every step of the way, starting as an intern. I learned from players, coaches, analysts, sports scientists, anybody, you name it. I was always spending time with them, curious to learn about what they were doing, why they were doing it, and how to go about learning more about it. When I was an intern, I had to pick up minor league players from the airport and shuttle them back and forth to their medical appointments and sit with them in waiting rooms. And you can bet that I was always learning from them. Unfortunately, in high school, sometimes if someone exhibits this sort of curiosity to learn, someone might yell, "Nerd." But let me tell you this, when you go out into the real world, that gets flipped on its head. And those who are curious and always willing to learn will get ahead. All of you in this room are more than capable of achieving your dreams, but you need to chase it. Someone will not always be there to hand you things or guide you to the next step. And remember, gone are the days of the Ivy League schools being the only ones with the libraries and the books to access information on certain disciplines. Now, with the internet and AI, you can ask a computer to give you a roadmap for how to accomplish things. So there are no excuses. And no, this speech was not written by ChatGPT. It's been an honor to share a few words tonight. And remember, not that long ago, I sat exactly where you were. And as Dave Bates mentioned, shortly after receiving my highest honor of my high school career, class clown, one day one of you will be standing up here. And remember, as you walk across the stage and get your diploma, be proud of what you have accomplished, but also be excited about what comes next. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete, for those inspiring words. Before we continue, I'd like to ask that any of our seniors that are entering the military or anyone who is currently serving in the military or a veteran in the audience with us tonight, please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you for your continued service and commitment to our country. I'd also like to recognize the class of 2025 top 10 students. The students' overall grade point average ranked from an amazing 4.421 to 4.161. These students are being listed in alphabetical order, not numerical. Students, when I call your name, please stand. Audience, please hold your applause until they're all standing. Ashton Bates, Allie Jacobs, Jaden Schul, Aislinn Linderman, Alexandria Miller, Casey Schaefer, Ava Smith, Jersey Smith, Dusky Staggers, and Jay Stravecki. Congratulations, top 10. At this time, it is with great pleasure that I introduce the class of 2025 valedictorian, Alexandria Lynn Miller. Alexandria is the daughter of Craig Miller and Tiffany Schwam of Carmichaels. She has earned a 4.421. Her school activities include being National Honor Society President, Spanish Club President, Class Vice President, and Envirothon Team Captain. She is also a member of Student Council, Newspaper, Debate, Academic League, SAD, and the Leo Club. During her athletic career, her softball team has achieved 3 section championships, a WPIAL runner-up title in 2023 and 2025, a PIAA state runner-up title in 2024. She has received many achievements with the Envirothon in both county and state competitions, placing second in the state of Pennsylvania this year. Outside of school, Allie's community service projects include food bank, blood drive, tree planting, fundraising, and spreading awareness about type 1 diabetes, and announcing the varsity basketball games. She has received over $2,000 in scholarships from her time spent with Envirothon, as well as the following scholarships: the Challenge Program Scholarship for Academic Excellence, the Greene County Scholarship Trust, the Red Cross Blood Drive Scholarship, the Michael E. Zahler OC Memorial Scholarship, the Esther Hart Scholarship. Allie is also the Women's Civics Club October Girl of the Month, the 2023 Top Advanced ELA Student of the Year, the Top Senior English Student of the Year, the Top Social Studies Student both her junior and senior year. Next year, Allie will attend Washington and Jefferson College, majoring both political science and public policy for a future career as an environmental attorney. I present to you your valedictorian, Alexandria Miller.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me. I'm incredibly grateful to be here with you tonight. Standing before you as the Class of 2025 valedictorian is not only an honor, it's a moment I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Thinking back to my 7-year-old self, I wanted nothing more than to be first. First in line, first in softball, and most importantly, first in my class. 18-year-old me has embraced a different perspective on this accomplishment. The 18-year-old me realizes that while this title is a huge honor, it does not capture what I've truly learned in my last 13 years of education. The most important thing I've taken away from my high school experience is that the title is not what is most valuable. It is the lessons I have learned from each experience. From 2023 to 2025 alone, we were state runner-up and 2-time WPIAL runner-up for softball, as well as second in the state for Envirothon. While some may view these circumstances as losses or failures, I don't see them this way. They are some of the most valuable moments in my life, and I will cherish those moments forever. When life offers opportunities disguised as challenges, my answer is always the same: I'm ready. By embracing these tests that I've learned to set big, ambitious goals and pursue them with full commitment, ensuring that, regardless of the outcome, I never am left with regrets. I've come to see second place not as a defeat, but as evidence of how much I've achieved along the way. So my advice to you is this: dream big, push beyond your comfort zone, and live with no regrets. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I attribute much of my personal and academic growth to the extraordinary educators we are fortunate to have here at Carmichaels. To every teacher who has walked this journey with me, thank you. Your dedication, guidance, and belief in me have been instrumental into shaping me into the individual I am today. You are not only educators, but mentors, role models, and growth catalysts. And for that, you deserve our deepest gratitude, and I believe a well-deserved round of applause. I would personally like to thank a certain set of teachers for shaping me into the student I am today. Mr. Willis, I can never thank you enough. You've been a champion of potential, guiding me through decisions about my future and instilling in me the values of hard work, perseverance, leadership, and collaboration. Whether it was an Envirothon competition, a softball game, a challenging test, or simply the daily pressures of high school, you've always been in my corner. Mr. Hess and Ms. Shoemaker, thank you for the endless hours of tutoring, mentoring, and support. Though math has never been my strong suit, you've both shown me that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and I will take that lesson with me into my college career and the rest of my life. Mr. Lane and Ms. Shimko, thank you for reinforcing my love of learning history and law. Your enthusiasm and encouragement have not only influenced my academic interest, but also helped me gain the confidence to pursue a career as an attorney. You've inspired me to aim higher, think deeper, and trust in my potential. I can never thank you all enough. I would also like to take a moment to thank my family. Your love, support, and encouragement have meant everything to me. Whether it was late-night pep talks, rides to school, or just believing in me when I struggled to believe in myself, I wouldn't be standing here today without you. Thank you for always being my foundation. To the class of 2025, we entered these halls as wide-eyed children, carrying our own unique dreams and ambitions. Over the years, we've grown not just older, but stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. We've shared laughter, supported one another through challenges, and faced the bittersweet realities of growing up together. Today, we leave as graduates, no longer just classmates, but as a family and community forged through shared experience and mutual respect. I will deeply miss the everyday moments, the quiet conversations, the inside jokes, and the sense of belonging that only this class could provide. Each of you have made a lasting impact on my life, and for that, I'm endlessly grateful. As we move forward in our separate directions, I have no doubt that this class is destined for greatness. I cannot wait to see where life takes each of you, to witness success, fulfillment, and the happiness you will create over the years to come. So hold fast to your dreams, believe in your ability to overcome, and never underestimate the power of perseverance and heart. Congratulations, class of 2025. The future is ours.
Thank you, Allie. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2025 salutatorian, Ava Marley Smith. Ava is the daughter of Jeremy and Dina Smith of Carmichaels. She has a cumulative GPA of a 4.375. Her school activities include captain of the varsity cheerleading squad, captain of the cross-country team, member of National Honor Society, student council, senior standing committee, SAD, vice president of the Spanish club, president of the book club, dance captain of the drama club. Outside of school, she is a lifelong dancer and musical theater student at the Center for the Performing Arts. She has won multiple awards and scholarships, including voted most musical in her senior class, voted hardest working math student, always striving for excellence. She has successfully completed her EMT course and will be testing for her EMT certification soon. In 2024, she was Carmichael's Women's Civic Club November Girl of the Month, Penn State 4.0 Club, 2024 Bituminous Coal Queen, West Virginia Wesleyan's College Presidential Scholarship, West Virginia Wesley's College Competitive Dance Team Award, Meemaw Scholarship, Dan Anderson Memorial Scholarship. In the fall, she plans to attend West Virginia Wesleyan College and major in nursing and join their competitive dance team. I present to you the class of 2025 salutatorian, Ava Smith.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, staff and faculty, family and friends, and especially my fellow classmates of the graduating class of 2025. When I first sat down to write this speech, I felt overwhelmed by the weight of choosing the right message. Should I express some of the memories and activities we have experienced over the years? Or should I highlight some of our best achievements and accomplishments? I had difficulty deciding, as every member of this class has numerous attributes and accomplishments of which they should all be proud. Then I thought about the future and the daunting thought of what it holds for each and every one of us. I thought, what am I supposed to do now? That simple yet difficult question weighed heavily upon me. It has consumed in my own thoughts, in the quiet after our last big tests, in the successes of our last performances, and in the teamwork of our last games. It's a question many of us are quietly yet continuously asking ourselves, who am I now? What do I do now? High school can categorize us by titles and roles, and some may believe those titles and roles define us. I'm in musical theater. I'm a football player. I'm a member of the baseball team. I play softball. I'm a member of the CTC program. I'm in the band, or I'm a member of this or that club. But in reality, high school is a momentary phase, and those activities are not equal to our identity. So, let's pause and think about what happens when the season finally ends, when the curtain falls for the last time, and when that title is finally passed on to another deserving student. Now, the harder question lies ahead: who am I without a label? High school has been the beginning of our time of self-discovery, and our titles and roles have seemed centralized to our existence. But in reality, titles are temporary. However, our character, how we make people feel, how we show up for others, how we care, endures. The overwhelming truth is we were never meant to be defined by the positions we held, the parts we played, the clubs we belonged to. So yes, you have been the athlete, a musician, an artist, a club member, but more deeply, you are thoughtful, you are loyal, you are compassionate, creative, and kind. These are the traits that truly define us. Our character is what will determine our true and lasting value. Senior year is full of endings: the last games, the last show, the last class, the last prom. And yes, with every ending comes a little fear of the unknown. We may never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. But let's not let the fear of nostalgia blur our vision of the present or the future. Let me share my favorite quote I have tried to embrace this past year: be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Find who you are, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Take risks and choose who you want to be, not based on a team or a title, but on the truth of who you are when no one is looking. Let's embrace the gift of the unknown, the uncertainty of the future, and the power we have to choose our own destiny. Let's allow life's journey to challenge us, and even let it scare us. In the end, we will grow into better versions of ourselves. All of our dreams will come true if we have the courage to pursue them, even if the pursuit of those dreams make us feel uncomfortable. Graduation is not the final finish line, but the starting whistle. Let's begin this new portion of our lives, guaranteeing a long, demanding, yet rewarding run. And like all the best races, the most meaningful parts aren't marked by the medals, but by the course itself. Make your goals and achievements not your only ambition, but let them define who you are and who you will become and what you want to achieve. I would like to thank a few people who made our journeys possible. To the teachers who have shaped the academic side of our lives, thank you. Thank you for seeing us not just as students, but as human beings. You are more than instructors, you are mentors. You gave us space to grow and stumble, allowing us to learn who we are. You were patient when we were difficult and confused, and supportive even when we didn't ask for help. You taught us the important lessons that don't fit into a textbook, the lessons that we will forever hold true. To my mom and dad, thank you. Thank you for a foundation rooted in patience, compassion, discipline. Your love never faltered. Your sacrifices never ended. I may never fully understand the depths of your giving hearts, but you believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I am standing here because of you. I thank not only my own, but all parents here tonight. You have sacrificed your time, poured out countless amounts of energy, and put your sons' and daughters' needs above your own. All the sacrifices you have made allowed us to live in the now, and to be graduating without the fear of what the future may hold. And finally, to my little sister, Sophia, thank you for being the toughest person I know. Thank you for showing me, and many others, regardless of the hardships life has thrown your way, how to stay strong, resilient, passionate, and above all, happy. You are an example of how to be brave, how to love unconditionally, and how to be silly. I am so proud to be your sister, and I love you so much. Class of 2025, you are not flat, fixed, or simple people. You are not defined by the team you were on, the trophies you won, or the transcripts you were given. Allow the years ahead of you to shape you, mold you, rebuild you, and reveal who you are. Show the world by living a life that proves you aren't defined by awards or achievements, but by the authenticity of your character. Dream big. It's better to aim high and miss than aim low and hit. Take up space, be bold, and above all, start it now. The person you are becoming is already within you. Be caught in the pursuit of excellence. All these years, all these high school experiences have been shaping you for this. And no matter where you go, never forget where you are from. And if that difficult question presents itself another time and you find yourself asking, "What do I do now?" smile with confidence and answer, "I'll begin again." We appreciate Carmichaels Area High School for these amazing years. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. It is my pleasure to introduce the Class of 2025 Senior Class President, Dusky Dream Staggers. Dusky is the daughter of Jake Staggers and Lisa and Nathan Kyle of Rice's Landing. In addition to being the class president, she is the Senior High National Honor Society Treasurer, an active member of the Senior Standing Committee, Student Council, SAD, Big Brothers and Big Sisters. She is also a 4-year member of the basketball and softball teams. Dusky was Women's Civic Club February Girl of the Month. She won the Lloyd Tag Ross Memorial Scholarship and the Waynesburg Moose Scholarship. In the fall, she plans to attend Penn West Edinburgh College to obtain a degree in nursing and become a pediatric nurse. I present to you your senior class president, Dusky Staggers.
Good evening, everyone, teachers, family, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates of the class of 2025. Before I say anything else, I want to take a moment to thank 2 teachers who have meant the world to me. First, Miss Bell. When I moved here in 4th grade, I was a little shy kid, unsure of everything and trying to figure out where I fit in. Miss Bell, you welcomed me with your open arms, your warmth, your patience, and your belief in me helped me find my confidence and feel at home. You didn't just teach me, you made me feel seen, and that changed everything. And then there's Miss Robinson. Throughout my high school journey, you have been by my side through it all, offering unwavering support, guidance, and always reminding me of my worth, even when I forgot it myself. Over the summer, I got a message from you saying you've been moved to the elementary school. I won't lie, that was a heart-crushing moment. Knowing you wouldn't be around for my senior year felt like something important was missing. But then, you sent another message. You said, "I just want to see you graduate." That one sentence has stayed with me all year. It became the push I needed on the days when I felt like giving up. Knowing that you believed in me from afar gave me the strength to keep going. And now, standing here today, I can finally say your wish has came true, Miss Robinson. To my family, your unwavering support has been an anchor through it all. Thank you for being my constant source of strength and guidance. I couldn't have done it without you by my side. To our class sponsor, Ms. Thomas, thank you for everything you have done to make this year memorable for our class. And I would lastly like to thank the group of friends I have gotten closer to over this past year. Saying goodbye to all of you is way harder than I thought it would be. Thanks for all the memories and for making this past year unforgettable. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Now to the class of 2025. Standing here in front of you today is so real. It's not just the end of high school, it's the end of a chapter we've written together, with laughter, late nights, hard lessons, and the moments that felt like they'd never end, but somehow they did. We've grown up together, we've learned what it meant to fail and to rise again, and we discovered who we are and who we want to be. And through it all, we've had each other. Some days were hard, but somehow this class always found a way to lift each other up. Whether it was a quick smile in the hallway, someone staying up late to study, or just being there to say, "You got this," that's what I'll remember the most. Class of 2025, look at how far we've come. We faced uncertainty, we endured change, but we still showed up. We became stronger, smarter, and more resilient, and now we're ready for what's next. We may be heading in different directions, but the bonds that we've built here, these memories will always stay with us. So let's carry that forward into the world. Let's lead with kindness, live with purpose, and love fearlessly. Thank you, class of 2025, for letting me be a part of your story. Thank you for the memories, the growth, and the moments that shaped us into who we are. This isn't goodbye, it's just the beginning. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Great job, Dusky. With us tonight are our teachers that have accompanied your sons and daughters through elementary, middle, and high school. Teachers, I know you stand a couple times, but do it one more time for us to recognize you. A special thanks also goes out to Mrs. Carrie Thomas, the senior class sponsor. Her countless hours that she has worked with this amazing group of students does not go unnoticed. This group of students is so lucky to have her. Gracias, profe. And to Mr. Bates and Mrs. Mitchell, we would like to wish you the best in retirement. We don't want to lose you, but we understand that there's another chapter for you to write. So best wishes in that next chapter. I'd also like to recognize everyone who worked countless hours to make tonight's events possible. Mr. Travis Townsend, our IT administrator, Ms. Jess Hathaway with her Mike's Nation Live crew who are currently live streaming us tonight. Thank you to Ms. Joanna Walker and the high school band. Thank you to Dave Franks and his maintenance staff. I'd also like to send best wishes to Mr. Franks as he is also retiring at the end of the school year. Thank you to Craig Miller and his security staff. Without your help tonight, these events would not be possible. So thank you for making this the special celebration for our graduates. And now, on to the awards presentation. In 1998, Michael E. Halupka, a 1959 graduate of Cumberland Township High School, and his wife, Kathleen Marinoff, a 1964 graduate of Carmichaels Area High School, created a scholarship to be awarded each year to an outstanding senior of Carmichaels Area High School. The scholarship will be awarded in increments of $1,000 each year to the recipient that stays in good standings at an accredited college or university for a maximum of 5 years. Before I announce this year's winners, I'd like to ask the past recipients that are present tonight, please stand to be recognized. And this year's winner is Ashton Batis. Congratulations, Ashton. In 1999, Paul and Dolores Jaswal Lavins graduated from Cumberland Township High School, and they established the Jaswal Lavins Scholarship in honor of their families. This $5,000 a year, this $5,000 a year renewable scholarship is to be awarded to two outstanding seniors. Will any of the past recipients that are with us tonight please stand to be recognized? Sadly, Mr. Lavins, who has always attended our graduation ceremony, passed away in February. But with us tonight to present the award, the Paul and Dolores Jaswal Lavins Scholarship, is Mrs. Rachel Angry, a 2001 winner.
You're too tall. I need to move this down. Okay. Good evening. Congratulations, Carmichaels class of 2025. I'm Rachel Angry. Yes, my last name is Angry. It's my married name, so you can make the big joke that my husband made me angry. So my maiden name was Peterson. Boring. I moved up in the alphabet. I was happy to. So I'm a former recipient as well from the Paul and Dolores Jaswell Lavin Scholarship. And I'm honored to be the presenter, as I have been several past years. I love to share the story. So the story is about two incredible people that ultimately changed my life, the life of the alumni that were just standing, and the life of a lot of people around the United States, and probably the world. So these two incredible people are Paul and Dolores Jaswell Lavins. Dolores was from Nemacolin. Paul was from Rice's Landing. Both of their fathers were coal miners, as mine was. Both of them graduated from this very school district back in 1949. And back then, mere 76 years ago, it was called Cumberland Township High School. After my own graduation in 2001, upon receiving their scholarship, I stayed in contact with Paul and Dolores because something told me they were very special. And gosh, that intuition in my 17-year-old brain and body was right. And at 17, you don't have many intuitions that are right. So I called, I emailed, I even text messaged with them through the years, mailed Christmas cards, anniversary cards, visited them in their summer house in Florida, and my husband and I frequently visited Paul at their permanent home in Michigan for his birthday, for my birthday, for vacations. We kicked off vacations there. They were wonderful folks. There's a gigantic absence tonight in this gymnasium, and that's because those two very special people are not here. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, and everybody before me is crying. Dolores passed away in 2010 after a battle with cancer, and Paul passed away just this February. Ooh, this is hard. Their bodies may no longer be present here with us, but their humbling, incredible generosity will live on for many, many years. Some of you may recognize Paul and Dolores' name and big-hearted, smiling faces from down the hall at the Lavins Media Center. It was dedicated in 2021. Their generosity is incredibly far-reaching outside of the walls of this very school. Together, they created a nonprofit foundation for a wide variety of charitable purposes and have donated more than all of us can imagine and fathom to various art institutions, community foundations, soup kitchens, libraries, operas, orchestras, Special Olympics, war memorials, zoo, you name it under the sun. If it was related to arts and humanities, that's what they cared the most about in life. Their generosity was truly never-ending. There is even a Dolores Jean Lavin Center for Humanities and Medicine with the Mayo Clinic that Paul founded after her passing. Again, their generosity is humbling, beyond incredible, to which they deserve an eternity of thanks. And most importantly, why I'm still up here blabbering and holding back all these tears, together, Paul and Dolores were strong believers of the unlimited potential and benefits of a good education. And that is why in 1999, they established their scholarship fund to benefit students in need from their very own alma mater, dear old Carmichaels. The first two Paul and Dolores Jaswell Lavin scholarships were awarded here in Carmichaels in the year of 2000. And every year since then, they've been awarded two for $20,000 scholarships since then. That's 25 years total and $1 million. Tonight, we'll make 26 years and over $1 million in scholarships awarded. Again, incredible, humbling, and generous. Now, let me present to you this year's, where's the envelopes?
Sorry.
When I find the envelopes, thank you. Now, let me present to you this year's Paul and Dolores Jaswell Lavin Scholarship recipients in memory of those two amazing people. In no particular order, Dusky Staggers. Aislinn Linderman.
Congratulations, Aislinn Adusky. Thank you, Rachel, and thank you to the Jaswell Lavins family for your tremendous generosity. They will serve these students well in the fall. As we gather here to celebrate the milestone of graduation, the milestone that marks the end of a chapter and the beginning of many more, it is the milestone that carries deep emotion for me because I have the honor of speaking to the class of 2025. This class has left an extraordinary mark on our school. Before we end this chapter, let's take a minute and reflect on what got us here today. While everyone's pathway looked a little different, class of 2025, close your eyes and let's journey back. Come on, play along. Remember the first day of elementary school, when you did not want to let go of your parents' hand to enter the classroom, when you had to find your first group of friends, your cafeteria lunch, or the right bus line. Your biggest worry was, did your parents pack a good enough snack? Hopefully the weather was good enough for us to go outside and have outside recess. Fast forward, looking back at high school, remember the excitement and anticipation you felt on your first day as a freshman. How daunting that future seemed. So many questions. Everyone asking, what are you going to do when you grow up? So later in high school, when the classes you took sparked your passion and defined your pathway. To today, where each and every one of you have a defined pathway and a post-graduation plan. Now open your eyes. See yourself. Look at your loved ones around you, your teachers, your friends, everyone who has guided and supported you through all of this. It takes a village to raise a child, and for that, I thank everyone in this room with us tonight. This milestone is a result of years of hard work, dedication, resiliency, not only for the graduates, but for everyone who has supported them along their pathways. Parents, guardians, extended family members, your support has been priceless. You have cheered from the sidelines, offered a shoulder to lean on, and celebrated every success along the way. Your love and encouragement has helped shape these graduates into the amazing individuals they are today. Thank you for doing that. To the graduating class of 2025, you are more than just a group of students to me. You are a story of kindness, strength, resiliency, laughter, dedication, humility, and an unforgettable spirit. Your journey has been filled with challenges, triumphs, and countless memories that will stay with you forever. You did not just survive our high school, you shaped it. You led with your heart, you inspired us not just by what you did or what you achieved, but by who you are. You took every opportunity to forge a pathway that involved you growing, learning, and excelling in your studies and extracurricular activities. Class of 2025, your time spent here deserves a lot of recognition, both academics and extracurricular activities, including WPIAL undefeated section championships in volleyball and softball, WPIAL playoff teams in girls basketball and baseball, making school history in both baseball and softball teams playing in the WPIAL championship in the same season. To our baseball and softball team, I wish you the best of luck next week as you compete in the PIAA championship. In addition to our sports programs, our very talented band earned superior rating and first place at Cedar Point Amusement Park. The outstanding video media class with their wonderful Mike's Nation Live broadcast, who have over 1,500 followers and are watching more than 600 videos. To our successful career and technology students who are giving priceless opportunities outside of the classroom, which will make them very competitive in the job market. They've passed their NOC exams. They've earned multiple certifications within their trades and were awarded countless scholarships. To our Envirothon team, who placed first in Greene County and second in the state. To our very talented drama club, who brought the fun of the Addams family to the stage. To our rigorous EMT course, with all students passing their psychomotor exams. and preparing to take their final cognitive certification exams in the next few weeks. I wish you luck on those exams. To our talented young artists, who not only created a great art show, but they also gave back to our community at our local parks and at the Helping House. To our successful esports team who competed throughout the nation. To our competitive academic team. The investment club, where students were gaining real-world financial experiences. To our cutting-edge STEM program. To our amazing debate program. To the innovative small business classes, and much, much more. Academically, many of you have challenged yourselves. 50 of you have earned at least 3 college credits that you're going to take out of here. Class of 2025, your hard work has earned you over $500,000 worth of scholarships. During your time here, you not only gained knowledge from your classes, you've also gained valued experiences, life lessons that will go far beyond these classrooms. You have learned the power of collaboration, the importance of empathy. Your experiences will take you to many incredible places. During these experiences, you discover that success is not defined solely by grades or accolades, but by the impact you have on others and the world around you. From these experiences, you have created your individual pathways. Tonight marks an exciting time when each of you will begin these new pathways. You have all began to plan these pathways with 64% of you going to a 2 or 4-year college, 32% of you going directly into the workforce, and 4% of you going to the military. I assure you that you are prepared for these steps as well as the challenges associated with them. A testament to your readiness is evident by the accomplishments of the Carmichaels Area alumni present with us tonight. The foundations from their success came from their experience at Carmichaels School District. Remember, success is a choice, but with the foundations you receive here, failure is not an option. Each and every one of you will find your own accomplishments and become the next successful Carmichaels alumni story. Your success will involve you having the discipline, focus, strong work ethic, and the ability to approach every situation with a positive attitude. Class of 2025, you will make great accomplishments in the world. I assure you, with hard work, you will never have to settle for anything, and you will continue the Carmichaels legacy of excellence. This group has demonstrated a level of responsibility and leadership that would make any parent or principal proud. And tonight I have the honor of being both. I love you, Jace Anthony, and I'm so proud to call you my son. Good luck to each and every one of you as you enter the next chapter. Remember, what matters most is not knowing the answer every day, but to stay curious, stay kind, stay humble, stay open to learning. Success is not a straight line. It is a winding path of growth, effort, and character. As the great Michael Jordan said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot, and I missed. I failed over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. Class of 2025, do not be afraid to take that shot. Congratulations to the class of 2025. I have no doubt you will make that shot and succeed every time. But don't forget, once a mic, always a mic. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2025. These students have fulfilled all requirements set forth by the Carmichaels Area School District and Board of Education, as well as the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Mr. John Menhart, President of the School Board, I now present to you the graduating class of 2025.
Cameron Olivia Anderson. Colin Michael Andrews. Aiden Scott Bate. Ashton Ryan Batis. Kaylee Renee Bialco. Aaron Ray Bivens. Braden Michael Christopher. Jacob Aaron Deems. Andrew Jeffrey Donaldson. Nathan Mark Dursa. Seven Michael Eddy. Carly Marielle Ernest. Dylan James Fisher. Lillian Grace Gensel. Kylie Ann Glendenning. Olivia Renee Glendenning. John Wesley Harden, Jr. Parker Andrew Hewitt. Carson Andrew Hillsman. Daisy Dawn Annabelle Horner. Sean Matthew Ingram. Allie Lynn Jacobs. David Franklin Jaggy, Jr. Jadence Marie Jewell.
John Anthony Cranock V. Kiroshawn Nicole Cabina. Cameron Gail Lemley. Lana Jeanette Lenhart. Nicholas Allen Lewis. Aislinn Noel Linderman. Anthony Ray McMahon, Jr. Shane Robert McNamara. Aiden J. Matheny. Alexandria Lynn Miller. Olivia K. Minor. Zachary Ryan Murphy. Hunter Michael Oliver. Lane Allen Oliver. Michael Sean Matthew Oshetsky, Jr. Allison Renee Pratt. Pacey Ireland Pratt. Dayton Matthew Reynolds. Lydia Christine Reynolds. Abigail Patricia Roscoe. Emily Rose Roscoe. Bradley Ty Schoenfeld.
Casey Alexandria Schaefer. Ava Marley Smith. Jersey Gianna Smith. Alexis Jada Lynn Spear. Dusky Dream Staggers. Harley Daniel Stoneking. Corey Robert Trainer. Caitlin Marie Waggett. Braden John Wasco. Jordan Joseph Watts. Chastity Lynn Whipke. Harley Nicole Whipke. Haley Marie Whipke. Tucker Dale Whipke. Logan George Willis. Robert Gregory Wilson Jones. Addison Renee Woodward. Noah Riley Yakupovich. Marissa Ann Yeager. Brandon Michael Yeckel. Jace Anthony Jervecki.
Graduates, please rise. By the power vested in me by the state of Pennsylvania, I now pronounce you graduates of Carmichaels Area School District. Congratulations, class of 2025. Everyone, please stand for the playing of our alma mater. Please be seated. While this concludes our graduation ceremony tonight, I'd like to say, let's go Mikes next week. Thank you for coming out tonight. Congratulations, class of 2025. God bless.